All right, welcome back. Today, let's talk about the one skill that really truly separates the pros from the beginners when you're working with AI. Here's a hint. It has nothing to do with writing the perfect first prompt. Nope. It's all about what you do after you get that first draft back. So let's get into it. I want you to picture a kingfisher, perched on a branch, staring down into the water. It's not just randomly diving in, right? It's watching. It's judging the depth, the way the light bends. It's waiting for that perfect split second to strike. That, right there, is the exact mindset we need. We're not just throwing prompts out there. We're evaluating, we're assessing, looking for that perfect moment to refine and strike. Does this sound familiar to you? You've spent all this time crafting what you think is the perfect prompt. It's clear, it's specific. You hit generate, and what you get back is, well, it's okay. It's not wrong, but it's just not right either. Maybe it's a little off topic. Maybe the code has some sneaky little bug. It's probably the most common frustration out there, and today, we are going to fix that. All right, so we're moving beyond the first AI draft. And here's the big idea, the thing you have to get in your head. That first output you get from an AI, it is never the final product. Think of it as a starting point. It's your first draft, your lump of clay, a rough sketch. The real magic, where the expertise really shines, is in what comes after. And that brings us to our main concept for today, output evaluation. So what is it? It's simply the skill of looking at what the AI gave you and critically assessing it. You're putting on your editor's hat. You're becoming that kingfisher. It's about knowing exactly what to look for, what worked, what didn't, and what's just a little bit off. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, here's your evaluation checklist. This is super practical. The next time you get a response, just mentally run down this list. Is it accurate? Did it stick to the facts or sources you gave it? Is it even relevant to what you asked? How's the flow? Is it coherent? Did it nail the style and tone you were going for? Is it complete? See, this takes the guesswork out of it. It's not about a gut feeling, it's a system. So we're shifting from instruction to dialogue. And you might be asking, why is this so important? Well, because it completely changes how we think about working with AI. You have to stop seeing it as just a tool you give commands to and start thinking of it like a partner you have a conversation with. And this comparison just lays it out perfectly. The amateur approach? You give an instruction, you cross your fingers, and you hope for the best. But the expert approach is different. You give that same instruction, but then you analyze what comes back. And, this is the key, you give feedback. That refined prompt is your feedback. That little loop, that back and forth, that's where all the magic happens. It's a dialogue, not a monologue. Okay, time to get practical. How do we actually do this? We're going to break it down by looking at refinement through 3 different lenses. Think of them as different toolkits for different jobs, depending on what you're trying to create. So first, we've got the text lens, which is all about making sure the AI sticks to your source material. Then there's the code lens, where we learn to test beyond the obvious happy path. And finally, the image lens, for targeting those weird little flaws with laser precision. Let's start with text. So check this out, a perfect example. Someone asked an AI to summarize a bunch of research docs about stream bank restoration. The key instruction was to only use the documents provided. But what did the AI do? It went off on this long tangent about the global decline of amphibians. Now that's interesting stuff for sure, but it wasn't in the source documents. The AI just kind of wandered off. That's a classic relevance flaw. So how do you fix it? Look at how direct and powerful this refined prompt is. Base the report strictly on the information contained within the provided source documents. Do not include external knowledge. See that? It's not a suggestion. It's a hard rule, a constraint. This is exactly how you pull a wandering AI back in and force it to stick to the script. All right, now let's talk code. So the AI spits out a script to parse some data, and at first glance, it looks great. It checks for the latitude and longitude column headers, just like you'd expect. But here's the catch. It never bothered to check if the values in those columns were, actual numbers. So when it hit a cell that said not available, the whole thing broke. It worked perfectly on the happy path when the data was perfect, but failed on a super common edge case. And the fix is so simple, but so crucial. The new instruction adds another layer of defense. Hey, after you check the headers, you also need to validate that the values can be converted to numbers. You see, it's not just about the structure anymore, it's about the data itself. And that one little change is what takes your code from a fragile prototype to something truly robust and reliable.
And believe it or not, this exact same thinking applies to generating images. Which brings us to our last lens, the image lens. And I'm sure you've all seen this one, the six-fingered woodsman. You get this absolutely stunning image back. The composition is amazing, the lighting is perfect, and then you look closer, and the guy has 6 fingers. Ugh. These weird little artifacts, especially with hands, are one of the classic tells of AI-generated art, and they can totally ruin a great image.
So, what's the fix? This is where things get really cool. You use what's called a negative prompt. Instead of just describing what you want to see, you give the AI a list of everything you don't want to see. Extra fingers, deformed hands, mutated limbs. It's like a surgical scalpel. You can carve away the mistakes without having to change your whole original idea. It's incredibly powerful. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. When you pull all these ideas together, evaluation, refinement, feedback loops, what are we really talking about? We're talking about adopting a whole new mindset. Let's call it the cultivator's mindset. You're not just an instructor barking orders. You're more like a gardener, tending to a plant.
And this right here, this is the heart of it all. First, just accept it. The first output is going to be imperfect. It's a draft. Deal with it. Second, be a detective. When something's wrong, don't just throw your hands up. Figure out why it's wrong. And iterate, but methodically. Change one thing at a time. This is a dialogue, a collaboration. And maybe most important of all, you got to be patient. The really great results, they take time. You're cultivating, not just commanding. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. The next time an AI gives you a first draft, don't just give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Stop and ask yourself, okay, what's the next sentence in our conversation? What's the one piece of feedback I can give right now to get this just a little bit closer to perfect?
Look, mastering this conversational, iterative approach is absolutely the key to getting world-class results from AI today. But what about tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Next time, we're going to pull out the crystal ball and take a look at the future of prompt engineering. You are not going to want to miss that one. See you then.